So I know what you want. You're here to see a comparison video of the Mayflash F300 and some other joystick. I think I've got, what do I have? I have Madcatz Fightstick SE and a Madcatz Fightstick TES Shadowloo Edition. That's the comparison that you want, right? That's why you're here. Let's take a look. Okay, so doing a comparison between, or I guess among the Mayflash F300, Madcatz Fightstick Standard Edition that came out when Street Fighter 4 came out, and the more recent Tournament Edition S Plus that came out when Street Fighter 5 came out. So I'm going to concentrate on this and just tell you how it sort of compares to the other two controllers. This is a good controller. For the price, it is excellent. I have not done any modifications, and I have been using it now for about 3 weeks. I bought it to play some fighting games, a few shmups, primarily Neo Geo games, but it's worked really well. So things to be aware of, though, when buying this. As you can tell, it's about the same size, same footprint as the Standard Edition Madcatz Fightstick. One thing to be aware of as well, though, is that it's not as heavy as this. This is a heavier stick. The stick is actually pretty light. It feels like this is almost a third less heavy than this is, and significantly less heavy than this. This guy is pretty heavy. So that's one thing to be aware of. It's not as heavy as the Standard Edition joystick. It does not come with great buttons. The stick is all right. And I don't know how well you can hear this, but comparing that, I've modded this, and of course this already has This already has a Sanwa stick and buttons. I modded this to have a Sanwa stick and buttons as well. So here's the Sanwa stick compared to the Mayflash stick. Now the Mayflash stick, it has a little more weight to it than this does. This is smoother. The Sanwa stick is definitely smoother than this Mayflash stick. However, it doesn't feel bad. I'll be honest, it doesn't feel bad, and if you don't want to mod it right away, then I feel like the stick is fine. The buttons kind of are a different story. I am a fan of the Sanwa buttons, and these buttons they don't feel great to me. They are they don't have the response that the Sanwa buttons have. And this button, you can't tell right now, but after about 3 weeks of use has started to stick ever so slightly. So if you get this stick, you'll probably want to mod it fairly quickly. You can probably use it for a few months. Now, to be honest, I mean, I've been playing games like Blazing Star and Metal Slug. Wow. I've been playing Metal Gear with one of these, right? I've been playing Metal Slug with this, and that's a lot of button presses. You push these buttons a lot when you play a shmup. So if you're getting this for fighting games, it's probably great. If you're doing a lot of button presses, maybe not. But it feels pretty good. So when I flip it over, it looks like I have not opened it up yet. You know, we just have, looks like 6 screws here. And I imagine you take those off and the buttons are easily changed out. Probably in the same fashion that one of these would be able to be modded. You pop the back off. What's nice about this, though, when I modded this, and if you've ever modded one of these sticks, you know that you have to void the warranty. You have to break this seal. And on this guy, there's not a seal. So you don't have to void the warranty as far as I can tell. You just pop these screws off and you're good to go. So it seems like a pretty easy process to mod this. Now, one thing I really like about this is kind of a small thing, but they included a Velcro strap for your cord. Not so much here. This stick has the storage compartment in the back, but I like this. It's pretty nice. So, like I said, I bought this for playing primarily Neo Geo games. I know a lot of people have purchased this to play on their PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. I bought it to play on my PC and on my Raspberry Pi. And on those two systems, on those two platforms, it works fantastically. With PC, it's literally just plug and play. You plug it in, you switch it to X input, and boom, you're playing with an X input joystick. On Raspberry Pi, it takes a little bit of configuration, but it's not that hard. I have had much more challenging times getting other controllers working with Raspberry Pi, and this one I was up and going in under 20 minutes or so. So, with other platforms, however, it can get a little tricky. You have this plug down here as a pass-through port for controllers of whatever platform you're using. So, if you're playing on the PlayStation 4, you have to have an official PlayStation 4 controller plugged in here before this joystick will be recognized by the system. Also, playing Xbox 360, Xbox One is the same way. So I have an Xbox 360 that I really wanted to play Radiant Silvergun on, and I don't have a wired Xbox 360 controller. It requires a wired 360 controller if you're going to be using it with a 360. So if you don't have a wired controller, this isn't going to work on your platform, and it has to be an official controller. If you use a third-party controller, you're out of luck. So those are things to be aware of. This is a great joystick. And at the price point, I absolutely think it's a good buy. And I'd say go for it. You know, if you're looking for a joystick to play arcade games, if you're looking for a multi-platform joystick, so if you're playing on a PlayStation 4, an Xbox One, PC, and Raspberry Pi, if you're playing on all of them, this is your guy. You know, this is your joystick. Other joysticks like this is not compatible with Xbox. You know, it has. I've not tried it on my Raspberry Pi. I didn't really have a reason to, but I don't know how easily that's configured with Raspberry Pi. I know this thing is a pain on PC and on the Raspberry Pi. I was never able to get this working on the Raspberry Pi, and on PC it has there's an unusual USB standard, and I had to buy a separate USB controller card to get this working on my PC. This, I did not have such problems. This is really easy to use and a good joystick. So hope this has been helpful. And if you need videos showing you how to use it, I've looked, and there are a lot of people who have posted videos on how to make this work with whatever platform. This was just a comparison video. And as far as comparing it to this, I'd say it's on par. It's, like I said, not as heavy, and that's kind of a thing. You could put weights in it to make it heavier, so you could do that. The buttons on this, I will say, this thing had garbage buttons. The buttons I used for maybe 2 days and said, nope, getting rid of these, putting the Sanwa buttons in here. These buttons are significantly better than the buttons that this thing came with. But they're not as good as the Sanwa buttons. So, hope this has been helpful. And if you liked it, you liked my video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down. Check out my other videos, and talk to you later.